Heavenly Father, thank you so much for this day. Thank you for everything you've given us. We have heavy hearts tonight with so many losses of loved ones and people in our community, and we just lift them up and their families to you, Lord. Please be with those that are sick, and in this joyous time of remembrance of your Son and the holiday season, may we remember what it's about. Please guide us and direct us as we make decisions tonight for the city. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Citizens are running late tonight.
Item number 2, approval of the agenda.
So moved. Second.
First and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Number 3, citizens' comments. There are no citizens' comments. Number 4, approval of the minutes. 4.1, November 10th, 2015 workshop. 4.2, November 10th, 2015 regular meeting.
Move to approve. Second.
Approval and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Number 5, recommendations. 5.1, recommendation sent to the Board of Commissioners on a rezoning application for properties located on Cumberland Drive, map 47, parcel 66.04, 113.192 acres, from RS40 to RPUD with mixed-use base density of RS15 and RS20. Kenneth Green, owner.
Move to approve.
It won't be a necessary for a motion. It just passed the first reading at the BOC.
Okay, pass the first reading of the BOC.
Yes.
Number 6, bond. 6.1, Alpha Technologies, LLC, irrevocable standby letter of credit, $42,000. Bond expires 12/31/2015.
Madam Chairperson, if y'all would give permission to call the bond of $42,000 in the event that it's we're asking for a $4,200 maintenance bond in place, and if it's not put in place by 12/31, then we will call the bond at that time.
Move to call the bond. Second.
Have a first and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Should we read the city engineers? Comments just for the record.
Sure. Okay, this is the city engineer's comments for item 6.1. The engineering staff has inspected the site and has received certification from the design engineer that the site has been constructed in general accordance with the approved plans. City staff would recommend that the PC approve accepting any of the following 3 options. A maintenance bond in the amount of $4,200 be submitted to the city by December 31st and be in effect until 1 year after the date of the CO being issued. Upon receipt of a maintenance bond, the city will release the current performance bond in whole. Number 2, the current performance bond be converted to a maintenance bond in the amount of $4,200 and be in effect until 1 year after the date of the CO being issued. And number 3, the current performance bond be reduced to $4,200 and renewed for a period of 1 year after the date of the CO being issued.
Madam Chairperson, I'd also like to state that I have been in touch with the representative at First Bank, and they're aware of this, and they're also possibly aware that it will go to a maintenance bond. And Todd Behan is also could not be here tonight, or we could pretty well went ahead and called, got permission to go forward with the maintenance bond. But he was on an airplane fixing to head to the airport and could not be here tonight.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we had a first and a second to call the bond. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Number 7, old business. There is none. Number 8, new business. 8.1, an ordinance to amend City of Fairview, Tennessee Municipal Zoning Code, Article 15, Section 15-102, role of the Planning Commission.
Move to approve. Second.
We have a first and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? 8.2, an ordinance to amend City of Fairview, Tennessee Municipal Zoning Code, Article 15, Section 15.103, Design Review Manual.
Move to approve.
The first and a second, any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? 8.3, approve training hours for the Planning Commission members.
Madam Chairman, if I could offer an amendment to that right there. I was not able to get back with her on my training hours. My training hours were 5.5.
Okay, let the record show that Tony Sutton's training hours were 5.5.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a first and a second. Any discussion? I'd just like to ask one thing before. What is the required training hours for the year? What are the?
4.
Okay. I'd like to show that 4 training hours are required for the year, and it appears that everyone has met those training hours. Okay, I have a first and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
While I'm here, I will say it at the end, never mind, about everybody needs to fill out their, we'll talk about it at the end, never mind.
Number 9, reports for discussion and/or information. 9.1, Director of Planning and Codes, Mr. Hall.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson. I just would like to say I do have a lot of activity, none of it that I can really announce anytime soon. I'm going to yield to the mayor on what I'd like for her to announce, as she will, I think, knows what I'm talking about. But other than that, I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. Thank you.
9.2, City Engineer. Will's not here tonight. 9.3, City Attorney.
I understand Mr. Cantor will be back first of the year, and I've enjoyed my stay. I have one more meeting if the mayor and the board and the city manager will allow it, and it's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
9.4, City Manager.
Thank you again. What I will report, since the city engineer's not here tonight, I did give him permission to stay home and work on our 3 books, the design review, the construction manual, and the zone. So that's what he's doing tonight. He was his suggestion, and I wholeheartedly agreed. So that's the reason our city engineer's not here tonight.
Good idea. Okay, number 10, communication from the Planning Commission members. Mr. Mangrum?
I would just like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Mr. Sutton?
Thank you. Are you going to bring up the part about the ethics, the registration of
Well,
state?
you can go ahead, yeah,
No,
but I
that's fine. I
was.
just want to make sure that everyone's what it was. I just want to tell everybody Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Think about the less fortunate, help where you can. Just remember the reason for the season. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Butler?
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Little time to reflect, and just the fact that as far as being up here, we've had an exciting year, and I think it's just going to continue, and I think we're all doing a great job. So thank you.
Mr. Dowdy? Mr. Mitchell?
Wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Hope everybody has safe holidays.
Mayor Carroll?
Thank you. I was going to mention, because Mr. Rowe is so nice to remind us, if you want to take a second of it and just tell them, it's the time of year where we got to go back in and fill our ethics forms out. We were required to, and as a planning commission, and there are fines if you don't do it. But go ahead if you want to just highlight.
Yeah, about 3 years ago, the Tennessee Ethics Commission added the Plan Commission.
Microphone, please.
About 3 years ago, the State of Tennessee Ethics Commission added all plan commissioners to file, I think it's an SS 8005, or I know it's 8005, and some letters in front of it. But anyway, it's a statement of interest where your income comes from. Doesn't have to be dollar amount. All candidates, all potential candidates have to fill it out, and now it's required by law for plan commissioners because they have the responsibility of approving final plats and et cetera. So you have to file it by the end of January. So it's very important that you file it, because if you don't, it puts the city into a liability situation should a lawsuit come up in the future. There is a $10,000 fine and possible removal from the Plan Commission if it's not done. So I encourage everybody to do that.
Just for information, my wife Cheryl went online the other day, and the form was not yet available. There was a date on it when it would be available, but as of, I think it was last week, it wasn't available.
Okay.
There's some date on there somewhere, so if you don't find, keep looking, it'll be there.
In the past, I've gotten an email, and I just pick on the link and go right to it.
Right.
And it's in January, like the beginning, when I usually get the
I
email.
just,
It's not available right now, I don't think.
Okay.
in 2015, all but one of the plan commissioners has filled it out. I'm just going to make that statement. So I encourage you to go on there. I just can't emphasize it because of the liability factor that it puts the city in if you don't fill it out. So, thank you.
Right. Okay, with that being said, because he reminded me the other, at a meeting or the other day, and I wanted to make sure, but, so we'll remind you again, because we don't want anybody to have to worry about that, and let's get it done. The other thing, Mr. Hall and I are very excited, and I'm sure Mr. Rowe and Mr. Tucker are all thrilled. We applied for a multi-modem grant last year, and we did not get considered. I mean, I think we made it to top running, but we did not get it, but we did get it this year. So we're very excited. It will extend the sidewalk quite a bit down Highway 100. It's not as far as we want, but it's a start, and it's a 95.5 grant, so it's a great opportunity to get some improvements and go ahead and start etching down. Our goal is to one day be all the way to 840, but, you know, this is a start, and yes, it will be, it'd be nice to have it all done at once, but we're, you know, just not in this situation. So 95% of the grant being covered is huge, and so we're just thrilled. And Mr. Tucker, Mr. Rowe worked hard filling out the grant, and, you know, and Mr. Hall, he's definitely just by attending those meetings and doing everything. So we really appreciate it, because one of the first things that MPO meetings I went as mayor, and it was this annual holiday, end of the year meeting where they kind of say what the 2040 plan is. I noticed that Fairview wasn't on this plan, and it really bothered me, because I'm like, you know, Spring Hill, Ellensville, Franklin, Brentwood, everybody's name had something in the 2040 plan, and Fairview didn't. So I remember leaving that meeting telling Mr. Hall, I said, that won't happen again. We need to have our name. If there's money out there, we need to try to get it. So they did an excellent job, and I'm just thrilled about it. So we'll be talking about it a lot in the next, you know, couple meetings, and then hopefully tomorrow they'll announce it to everybody else, and so we'll be thrilled to have that.
That would be great tomorrow, wouldn't it?
Yes, I'd love it.
No.
And then the other thing is, I just want to kind of echo on what Matt's saying. I'm very proud of the Planning Commission. I think by far the work we have done, and just some coming together and finding a good direction and compromise, it's been a joy to serve with everybody this year. So I hope everybody has a wonderful holiday season. Merry Christmas, and remember the reason for the season. So thank you.
Mr. Hall?
I have another goal, now that the sidewalks look like they're going forward. My next goal is to try to see if we can get something to improve the intersection at Cumberland and Crocut on
That's a
100
great
Highway.
goal.
So if anybody's got any ideas, all you got to do is shoot them to me. I will follow up on them. So anyway.
Just to follow up on it, I talked to Jeremy Durham the other day, and he's gonna come out and we're gonna go over it, look at it again. I sat there this morning for about 15 minutes, and so he's looking at it, wants to help us out on it, so.
Well, we need to probably get a traffic study in right there, which we've talked about. It'll just be.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and everybody please be safe. We've had a lot of sirens going lately, and everybody needs to slow down and then, be calm and enjoy the season. We got a great group of people up here and staff, and I just am really proud to be a part of this planning commission. We're doing a lot of great things right now. So if that's all, meeting's adjourned.